Okay, how's that in the back now? Awesome. Okay, good morning. I am Jim Lee, your chairman of the Chester County Chamber of Business and Industry. Today we're here to celebrate some of our leaders in the community, but there's a couple different ones that we're going to share with you today. We are all leaders in the community, and so you should draw inspiration from each of their stories. And if you can't get into the details of who and what they're all about today, please connect with them directly outside of here and find out about them. What they share in common, in my view, which I admire so much, is an entrepreneurial spirit. And you say, okay, well, how does a nonprofit have an entrepreneurial spirit? They are business people just like any of the others that are putting ourselves at risk. They don't have the comfort of the safety net all the time to know that they can operate without doing a lot of hard work to fund their businesses. We have small businesses that are taking the courage to establish themselves, get the word out there of who and what they are, and take the risks, those personal risks, the risks to their employees as well, and shoulders that burden and goes out into the world and tries to make a great business out of their idea. And that's what's so cool about this moment, where we get to celebrate the small business of the year, the nonprofit of the year, and even honor somebody, a team that has started and fostered business in this community for decades, and they started as a small business. That entrepreneurial mindset that we all have, even if we're in a large business or we're in a small business, we all have those moments where we can take an idea and give it substance, give it a chance to take life and be real, but it requires you to have the courage to take that risk and do something about it. So that's what we get to do today. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Fulton Bake, our presenting sponsor for the first award. Andrew Starr.
Great, it's a pleasure to be here today. So I have the honor to introduce Dennis Davon. Dennis was appointed to serve as the Secretary of the Department of Community and Economic Development in January of 2015 by Governor Tom Wolf. In this position, Secretary Davon oversees the Wolf administration's efforts to support business growth, strengthen the workforce, and revitalize communities across Pennsylvania. Prior to his appointment, Secretary Davon served as the Director of the Allegheny Economic Development since 2004. During this time at Allegheny County Economic Development, Secretary Davon was responsible for the overall development and implementation of the economic development strategy for Allegheny County. He also served as the Director of Allegheny County Redevelopment Authority and Executive Director of the Industrial Development Authority, Hospital Development Authority, Higher Education, Building Authority, and Residential Finance Authority. Secretary Davon is a former board member and treasurer of the Allegheny County Airport Authority, as well as a former member of the Pittsburgh Regional Alliance Partnership, Three Rivers Workforce Investment Board, International Economic Development Council, and National Association for Industrial and Office Parks, as well as Carnegie Mellon University Center for Economic Development Fellow. So let's give a warm Chester County welcome to Dennis Davon.
Thank you, Andrew. I really appreciate that introduction, and it is an honor to be here today on behalf of Governor Tom Wolf to address you. I am in a really difficult position right now because I stand between you, 200 people, and breakfast. So I'll try to be brief. I'm also in a difficult position because I'm from the other side of the state in Pittsburgh, and I'm assuming there are no Pittsburgh Steelers fans here. Maybe a few. All right. I see you make them sit in the back of the room. Okay. I see where this is going. Pirates fans, maybe. And then the last one, Zach, I'm going to say, Pittsburgh Penguins fans. Any of them? Okay. That's what I usually get in Philly when I say that. Except for there's some booze, there's some, it gets pretty rowdy, but it's good. But we're excited to be here today, and I think by recognizing small businesses, nonprofits, and individuals and their incredible achievements, we're putting a spotlight on those who help to grow Chester County's economy, and create good jobs and improve its communities. And that's something that we in the Wolf administration are happy to throw our full support behind. As you know, Governor Wolf is a businessman himself, so he knows a thing or two about the processes of starting and operating a business. And as governor, he's placed a strong emphasis on supporting Pennsylvania's small business community. And that means streamlining our processes in the state and procedures to start a small business. That means creating a more business-friendly tax climate. And that means increasing our collaboration with our partners on the ground like CCCBI to ensure the needs of entrepreneurs and small business owners are being met at every single level. It's no secret, it's not easy out there for small businesses. We all know that. Large businesses are seeing massive amounts of growth while many small businesses struggle. We live in an age in which we created an entire holiday, Small Business Saturday, to try to drum up support for our entrepreneurs. But despite this, it's really a credit to the spirit and ingenuity of our entrepreneurs that they've found ways to adapt to an ever-changing market and now form the backbone of Pennsylvania's economy. According to the U.S. Small Business Administration, Pennsylvania is home to more than 1 million small businesses. And the most recent estimates indicate that they employ over 2.5 million employees in the state. And just to put that into context, that means nearly half of the workers employed in the state of Pennsylvania are small business employees. So that is really a great thing. So with so much of our economy riding on the shoulders of small businesses, it's clear that the success or failure of small businesses means the success or failure of Pennsylvania's economy. And that's why it's been such a key priority of Governor Wolf to ensure we're doing everything we can at the state level to ensure and support that. And to that end, one of our top achievements during the governor's first term was the creation of the Pennsylvania Business One-Stop Shop, which launched last year. And if you haven't heard about the One-Stop Shop yet, you should check it out as you're eating breakfast this morning. It can be accessed by going to business.pa.gov. It's as easy as that, business.pa.gov. So what's in the Business PA small one-stop shop? It's a single go-to resource for businesses and serves as the first point of contact for anyone seeking to run a business here in Pennsylvania. It offers the resources, tools, and experience to help aspiring and current entrepreneurs dream big, plan for the future, and achieve their goals. It does this by eliminating the guesswork from many business operations and procedures that can be confusing or difficult to navigate. For example, users can now obtain information on tax filings, employee management, and licenses all in one convenient location. The PA Business One-Stop Shop has two key components. First, the website that I mentioned, business.pa.gov, and then a phone number, 833-722-6778, supported by a team of business consultants and subject matter experts who can answer questions. Together, the website and team of experts help guide and support businesses through all stages of development, from planning and startup to operations and expansion. The PA Business One-Stop Shop is more than just a tool for business owners. It provides complete customer-focused service backed by first-hand knowledge and experience. Our team of business consultants and subject matter experts are, for the first time ever, coming together from across the state to pull their resources, knowledge, and experience, and making them easily accessible for our aspiring and current entrepreneurs. With the PA Business One-Stop Shop, it used to require endless searching for websites and countless phone calls, or spending hundreds or maybe thousands of dollars on services to assist with the process. Not going to be found in one website with one phone number, and it's great news for those looking to start or grow a business in Pennsylvania. So it's just the beginning. We'll continue to talk with our partners and small business owners and explore any refinements, updates, and opportunities for further collaborations. We continuously look for ways to add to the one-stop shop to help businesses succeed in Pennsylvania. We've made the Pennsylvania Business One-Stop Shop because we want to ensure navigating business-related processes in Pennsylvania is simple, accessible, and easy, so our business leaders can get back to doing what they do best. And that's creating, innovating, and succeeding here in Pennsylvania. The One-Stop Shop has had great success so far, assisting around 90,000 entrepreneurs and business owners who have visited the website to learn how to start and grow a business. In fact, it showed so much progress that our own legislature codified the One-Stop Shop into law this past fall with bipartisan support. We're extremely excited about the One-Stop Shop, and we'll continue to build it out to better serve our business owners. But it's only one part of our total strategy for supporting small businesses here in Pennsylvania. Our goal is to help cultivate an ecosystem that empowers entrepreneurs through readily available technical assistance and funding support. But we can only do so much from Harrisburg. And that's why the best way we can achieve the goals through our partners are boots on the ground. Take, for example, the Ben Franklin Technology Partners across the state, including the Ben Franklin Partners of Southeastern Pennsylvania that covers Chester County. In my conversations across the state with small tech companies, the Ben Franklin Partners are consistently cited as one of the most helpful resources enabling these companies to get off the ground. The partners connect tech entrepreneurs with tools they need to succeed, whether that means strategic guidance, business connections, seed funding, or a combination of all three. And they have a truly tangible impact on Pennsylvania's economy. According to a new report from the Pennsylvania Economy League, the Ben Franklin Partners generated a combined 11,400 direct and indirect jobs in the Commonwealth between 2012 and 2016. Additionally, their efforts returned a 3.9 to 1 return on investment and provided a more than $4 billion boost to the gross state product in that time. Those numbers aren't just impressive on paper. When I talk about the business owners who are supported by the Bens, I can't tell you how many times I've heard them tell me that they wouldn't still be in business if not for Ben Franklin Technology Partners. But our other partners are just as important. Driven through our universities, small business development centers, SBDCs, provide one-on-one guidance to entrepreneurs to turn their idea into a viable business. Our PA Business One-Stop Shop was collaboratively developed with SBDCs because they both have the same goal of breaking down barriers for entrepreneurs. In addition to SBDCs, business incubators are growing in popularity across the state and provide a low-cost, shared environment in which small businesses can establish themselves. We're seeing incubators pop up in every corner of the state, and we're often seeing them created in former blighted buildings, which not only helps the business owners who locate there, but also helps lift the entire community. The bottom line is this: we will continue to support our partners and encourage the development of incubators across Pennsylvania. The more we support these efforts, the more we help our small businesses. And that means more jobs for Pennsylvanians, greater growth for our economy, retention of more talent, and a large population of successful entrepreneurs that can spread their knowledge and expertise to a new generation. All of you in this room right now are part of this small business movement, and it's up to all of us to keep that momentum going. And if anyone needs any support, please know that we at DCED, our doors are always open. Please visit the website, and I really appreciate everything each and every one of you have done to help small businesses. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks again for being here. My name is Marianne Martelli. I'm the Vice President of the Chamber, and I'm very excited to welcome and thank all of you for being here, but also to just thank a special thank you to some special people that are here. We have some elected officials in the audience. If you would please, first of all, take our thanks for your service to the county. We certainly appreciate that. We all know, we all recognize and acknowledge that's a very hard job, but if you would now please stand, all the elected officials, and be acknowledged. Thank you. And then my own people near and dear to my heart are board members. You all know that, or you've heard me say before, that we are led by a wonderful, dedicated group of volunteers, our board members for our foundation and our chamber, and we have a number of them in the audience. If you would all stand up and let us thank you for your service. You guys are my rock stars, thank you. And then our sponsors. These are the people that never say no to me, and I'll be calling you again soon, so don't worry. But I'd like to thank all of our sponsors. Fulton Bank is our presenting sponsor today. Thank you so much. M&T Bank, Rayner and Company, Kirscher Miller, Brumbaugh Wealth Management, Buckley Bryan, DMB First, Stradley Ronan, Landmacher Lane, Stefano Slack, the Hankin Group, Gothrop Greenwood, and Energy Transfer Partners. So thank you very much, all of you. And could we please just acknowledge our sponsors? Emily has me on a really tight time frame, so I can't talk anymore. I know you'd love to hear me go on and on. But it is my pleasure now to introduce the President and CEO of the Chamber, Guy Sharap.
Good morning, everyone. Always think when I get to the podium, for those of us that are old enough, remember the old Saturday Night Live, and they used to do the skits when George Bush would debate Michael Dukakis, and Michael Dukakis had a lever to elevate himself. That's what I need. It's one of those buttons to push. So I appear much taller. Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here. Just want to say a few words before we get on to celebrating our honorees for this year. You know, as Jim Lee alluded to earlier, there's a lot in common. There's a common theme to a lot of the honorees and our businesses, our small businesses and nonprofits, and just want to share a few thoughts. There's hard work, what we call good old-fashioned stick-to-itiveness, ingenuity, passion, integrity, and customer service. And those are common themes of our small businesses and our nonprofits. I remind everybody from time to time at events like these that the Chamber is a small business. We can relate to the hundreds and hundreds of our members and the thousands of small businesses across the region and state. We're a small business. We worry about our budget. We know each of our employees. We have to cover for each other when you have family issues or car issues. When the water gets delivered, we carry it in. The things that all of you that work in small business and that all of you that support small business and nonprofits. Many of our nonprofits, whether you have a staff of 10, a staff of 5, or a staff of 1, you face those challenges every day, the practical and the real, staying focused on mission, serving your customers. And at the same time, facing the challenges that we all face, being creative, working hard, trying to stay ahead of the competition, keeping up with the times, keeping up with the marketing, keeping up with technology. And particularly for a smaller business, for our nonprofits, you do those challenges against the backdrop of often having to take that work home because you're never off the clock, because in a small setting, you're responsible for that business, for that enterprise, for that agency around the clock. So it's right and fitting that we pause once a year. Frankly, we should all do it more often, but at least once a year to come together as a business community and celebrate and recognize those characteristics, those things that make a business community thrive, those things that make a community. And if I could just share, as we go through that checklist of things, ingenuity, hard work, stick-to-itiveness, customer service, and if you add to that leadership, citizenship, and philanthropy, that describes our lifetime achievement winners. Many, many of our businesses serve their customers well, but at the same time serve the community well. So it's right that we not only celebrate the wonders, the economic benefit, and the community benefit of our small businesses, but that we recognize individuals like the Crafts who for generations have made an impact not only in the economic well-being of our region, but the quality of life and the sense of community here. Just to share very quickly a few things about some of the honorees, because I don't want to take the thunder away from the folks that will be introducing and presenting their awards. But in the case of Carvertise, a few years ago, Greg Starr came to a chamber event and said, "Can I sit down and talk with you afterwards?" We did, and he said, "I have this idea. We have this new business, and here's what we're going to do. We're going to wrap cars in advertising, and we're going to help market everything from schools to hospitals to programs." And when you work in a chamber, or like the commissioners do, you probably go out to a lot of events and you meet a lot of people full of energy and say they have a wonderful idea, and you wish them well, and you try to help the best you can. And the next thing you know, I saw Greg at another chamber event, and they had gotten more customers, and started reading articles in the Philadelphia Business Journal, and national publications, online publications, and you realize that they had a wonderful idea that was taking root and having an impact, creating a whole way of branding. You know, we're all sitting around debating about advertising. Should we go traditional media or new media? And they came up with a third way with cars and advertising. And watching that grow, and at the same time seeing Greg give back to the chamber and serve on committees, we thought it was appropriate to recognize them. And then Bob Madonna and Surrey. So I'm passionate about business. You all know I'm passionate about softball. But I'm really passionate about the Phillies. And about 4 years ago, I wrote it was very risky. I wrote a column in the Inquirer that was not about politics, but it was about the Phillies and how they just were absolutely lifeless and had no direction. And this businessman from the area, Bob Madonna, sends me an email and says, I agree, we should get together and talk. And we got together and talked sports for a long time. But during that time, I learned a lot about his approach, not only to business, but his approach to community. And lo and behold, down the road, he became the new CEO at Surrey Services. And everything we talked about that day at breakfast, not so much with the Phillies, we're all hoping for Bryce Harper, but not so much with the Phillies, but his approach to customer service and community, he's put together and his team have put together, and it's wonderful watching them grow and thrive. And then the crafts, Gail and Dallas. I mean, this is one of those where I could speak for an hour, and I promise I won't. But where to begin? You saw the article in Vista today and in other places, and probably everybody here in this room, either through the business or through some chamber committee or county committee or philanthropic or educational enterprises, come in contact with them. And to have that family-based business that has grown, that stands as not only an economic engine, but as a part of our community, setting an example for other business leaders, we're just really fortunate. And that's why when we talk about the wonderful economy in Chester County, we also talk about that sense of quality of life, but quality of place, because it's not only the thriving Fortune 500 companies we have, but it's that sense of giving back and doing for others. So if you would, just join me in a moment of thanking all and honoring our honorees today and what they bring to our community as a whole. So with that, I'm going to invite our first sponsor to present our nonprofit award. So all of the things we talked about, all the things in my remarks, as Kristen Liddell comes up to the podium, Kristen has served the chamber, has served the business community, has served other business organizations. Just in our chamber alone, in addition to her day job, helped as an officer and a leader in our WIB committee, served on our board of directors, and is a past recipient of our WIB Executive of the Year. So she knows a thing or two about business and giving back. So we're very fortunate to have Kristen Liddell with us today to present our first award. So Kristen, thank you.
And I made it up that big stuff there. So. Good morning. Once again, my name is Kristen Liddell. I am a commercial banking group manager for M&T Bank for the Philadelphia region. M&T is very pleased and proud to support the Chester County Chamber this morning as the not-for-profit sponsor. We understand at M&T that the long-term success of our bank is tied to the health and well-being of the communities that we serve. And that when our communities succeed, everybody's lives get a little bit better. And so in 2018, M&T contributed $1.5 million and over 6,000 volunteer hours to more than 250 nonprofit organizations in the Philadelphia region alone, in support of education, the arts, youth services, healthcare, and community reinvestment. There are a great number of not-for-profit service organizations throughout our county working hard to improve the lives of men, women, children, and families. Congratulations to Surrey Services for Seniors for being selected as the Nonprofit of the Year. Your influence on our community is meaningful and far-reaching for the individual lives that you impact and for the contribution that you make to the social and economic stability and strength that is Chester County. Surrey Services for Seniors has been serving their community for 37 years. Surrey's mission is to help older adults live with independence and dignity, and to continue as active members of the community. Steeped in the principle of neighbor helping neighbor, Surrey has been a pioneer in organizing a model to facilitate aging in place. Through customized home care services to support independent living, care management expertise to help navigate the healthcare system, and programs to keep older adults active and engaged, and with the help of over 1,300 volunteers, Surrey touches the lives of over 6,000 individuals each year. Robert Madonna currently serves as President and CEO of Surrey Services, with an extensive resume that includes over 40 years of leadership experience in diverse businesses as well as nonprofit service, where he has served as the chair of the Delaware County Community College Foundation, a board of trustee with the Silver Springs Martin Luther School, the founding director of Golden Cradle Adoption, and served on the boards of Ryan's Case for Smiles Foundation, Attention Deficient Disorder Association, and the Educational Excellence and Entrepreneurship Institute at Westchester University. It is my privilege this morning to congratulate and introduce Robert Madonna, President and CEO, and to recognize Surrey Services for Seniors as the Chester County Chamber of Business and Industries 2019 Nonprofit of the Year.
Good morning. When I was informed of this award and the date, my plan was to start off with the Eagles cheer, but unfortunately the plan fell through. First of all, I want to thank Guy, his team, and all the members of Chester County Chamber for this wonderful award. As of yesterday, there were 4,215 nonprofits in Chester County. And being a nonprofit of the year is an amazing tribute for our 22 board members, 100 plus employees, hundreds of donors, and over 1,000 volunteers. This group of people makes it possible to provide a vast array of services and programs, as you heard, to over 6,000 older adults in our community. We've been around for close to 38 years, and we're known for many things, whether it be our 4 senior centers, home delivered meals to those who are homebound, along with programs such as transportation services, and we partner with Rover, and thank you for the Kraft family for your partnership. Free dental care provided by community volunteers in medicine. Thank you, Maureen Tomashot, for your partnership. Free tax preparation, free Medicare counseling. What most people do not know is that we provide a host of home care services, whether it be for companion care, RN care, house cleaning, etc. I can go on and on. The easiest way to explain Surrey, if an older adult or family member needs help, support, or just confused with issues with aging, call us. We even have a consignment shop in Berwyn that helps people declutter. Either we can provide the help or we know to get the help. Before I tell a quick story, I want to recognize 2 people. If Parker Blatchford could stand up and Maureen Brennan Miller could stand up. Parker was chair for Surrey Services for close to 20 years and took it from basically in a home in an attic to where we are today. Maureen is our current chair. So I thank you for your past, present, and future leadership. So one story I'd like to tell you about kind of shows you the way Surrey is. Prior to being the CEO of Surrey in January of 2016, I had a young couple approach me and wanted to start a nonprofit. Now I always tell people right now there's over 43,000 nonprofits in our area. And I said to them, what do you want to do with another nonprofit? There's too many. And they said, Bob, let me tell you a story. My father had Alzheimer's towards the end. My mom took care of him 7/24 for years, every single day. We were awaiting the birth of our first child. I went to see my mom to talk to her about what's happening. And as I walked in the home, my mother took her life right in front of me. He said, Bob, if she had one day of respite care, she'd be here today. I'm proud to say on January 12th, Surrey Services started a brand new service called Weekend Respite Care. Every other weekend, we provide from 9 to 3 time for those who are caregivers to have a break for their loved ones. So we provide services, entertainment, interactive things for them to do so they get a break. And we recently had our first weekend. We had someone who has not been away from her husband for 5 years. This was the first time. And she cried because she got 6 hours of time for herself. So my message to you is we do whatever it takes to help the older adults in our community. And my message to you is please, please help us find the people, educate the people on what we do, because we're there to help. And with all the folks we have there, we can do many things. Last thing I would say is that we try to make a difference in people's lives. I thank you for this award from our organization. And as Sally Field said at the Oscars, you like us, you like us, you like us very much. Thank you very much.
Bob, thank you, Bob, for sharing that. Please be careful when you walk off the stage. Okay, I'm excited for the next award, the Small Business Recognition. I'm so excited for Greg that I actually want to do this myself, but we're going to give Jeff a chance to introduce our awardee. So Jeff, if you come to the stage, be careful. All right. Jeff Clark from Pressure Miller.
Thank you, Jim. Good morning, everyone. Such a beautiful sunny morning in Chester County. Our award recipient, Greg Starr, is the co-founder of Carvertise, the largest ride-share private vehicle advertising service in the country. Since its founding in the Horn Program for Entrepreneurship in 2014, Carvertise has had year-over-year revenue growth of 300% and has created a driver network of over 350,000 drivers across 48 states. Working with clients such as Discover, Lyft, EA Sports, and Buffalo Wild Wings, Carvertise has now launched over 500 major advertising campaigns across the nation. Carvertise was named DIW's 2015 Tech Startup of the Year and has been covered by major press outlets including Forbes, Inc. Magazine, WHYY, the Philadelphia Inquirer, the News Journal, and Delaware Today. Greg is the recipient of the Delaware SBA's 2016 Young Entrepreneur of the Year Award, as well as the 2015 Junior Achievement of Delaware's Business Benchmark Award. He currently sits on the board of directors for Preston's March for Energy, a nonprofit that provides adaptive bicycles to children with special needs. Greg is considered a thought leader on entrepreneurship, marketing, and networking, and is currently a contributor for the Philadelphia Business Journal, as well as several other regional business journals. When Greg is not working, he's an avid reader of historical biographies. On behalf of Fraser Miller, it's my pleasure to introduce the Chester County Chamber of Business and Industries Small Business of the Year Award recipient, Greg Starr.
It's some introduction. That's a lot to live up to. I'm very humbled to be up here accepting this award on behalf of Carvertise, so thank you to Guy and the board for thinking of us. About 3 years ago, I went to my first chamber event, and I didn't know anybody, and Eric Light, Eric's in the audience here, welcomed me and started introducing me around, so thank you to Eric. I want to thank Mike Bray and Jim Lee. I served on the Small Business Committee a few years ago, and it was like getting a real-life MBA, watching those two organize and kind of work together with a team. So both of them have been friends and mentors since that experience, so thank you to both of them. I want to recognize Bill Swain from Wilmington University in the audience today. Our company would not be here without you, Bill. I could write a whole speech, but Bill's been a supporter, he's been a client, he's been, so I'm gonna buy Bill a boat one day. That's the agreement we had. I want to thank Ken Knickerbocker from Vista Today. Like everyone else, I read that every morning to kind of get my news on Chester County. Ken's been a great friend and is very wise, and he's really helped Carvertise kind of network in the area. I came here about 4 years ago to Chester County, and I've just noticed it's a very generous county. It's a very giving county, and it's just been a privilege to be a part of this community. So thank you to everyone for welcoming us, and thank you for this award.
All right, finally this morning, we're going to recognize a Lifetime Achievement honorees. To do that, we have Mr. Mike DeHaven to introduce them.
Morning. I'm Mike DeHaven. I'm a CPA and partner with Rayner & Company. On behalf of Joe Fabrizio, my partner, our other partners, and staff at Rayner, we're so pleased to be the nonprofit, the sponsor for the Crafts Award, the Lifetime Achievement Award. Many of you know the Crafts. Many of you know that they have a very successful third-generation transportation business. It's headquartered here in Chester County, but they employ hundreds of people in several states, and you wouldn't know it by knowing them. They're such wonderful, humble people, the whole family, and really extends to many of the employees that are here as well. They're just such a wonderful group. But what makes, there's a lot of successful entrepreneurs and business owners in Chester County, but what makes them different is they're not just content with just being successful business people. They're truly leaders in our chamber, and they're truly leaders in our community. They lead by example. They lead by their time that they give, their resources, and their talents to the chamber, to the other boards that they serve on. And also, really, for this chamber, I've been involved in this chamber for a long time, and really, I think since inception, Dale and Dallas have been supporters of this chamber and also the Chamber Foundation as well. Year in and year out, they're always ones to be counted on for that as well. In 2016, the Craft Board selected Alex's Lemonade Stand as their official charity, but that was, that partnership was in addition to the sponsorships that they currently provide to the schools they serve, and as well as the community at large. Individually, for Dale, Dale is a former CEO of the Year Award winner here. He's a former board chair, but even before and after that, he was a very active board member for a long time. And as a former chair, and there's other current and former chairs in this room, Dale has been just a great resource. Great to have your friendship and support for all these years, Dale. And it's not just the chamber that Dale supported. It's got a long list. In addition to the chamber service, he's trustee for his alma mater, Lycoming College, for over 25 years. Former board chair for the United Motorcoach Association, past president of the National School Transportation Association, and founder of the Pennsylvania School Bus Association. And to Dallas Craft. The book today calls him a true humanitarian, which is very true. The list of organizations that he served is long. But a couple of the top ones, those that know Dallas know he's an exceptionally dedicated Penn State supporter. I'm sure Dallas is a trustee of Penn State Great Valley, and Dallas and his wife Di have endowments to support the Great Valley campus and also scholarships for Penn State's ROTC students. And also now, on a personal note, if your children are considering Penn State and other schools, if you take your child with Dallas to a football game, I guarantee he will seal the deal. He'll be going to Penn State. Dallas's generous support of Lycoming College, where he attended, resulted in being conferred a Doctor of Laws degree. He's a board member for Fulton Bank's Brandywine Division, Chester County Hospital Foundation, and he's chair of the Chester County Hospital Turk's Head Board. And he's also the founder of the Kraft Family Children's Library within Coatesville Library. And also for our chamber, he's been a generous sponsor and also an active board member on our chamber political action committee for many years. So for Dale and Dallas, thank you for all you've done for our chamber for all these years and for the community. And please help me join in recognizing them as a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Dale and I agreed that I would go first since I'm his little brother. I too would like to thank the Chamber Board for this wonderful honor. I told several people this morning, I guess when you turn 70, when you're on the way out the door, they want to honor you to make sure that you continue to stay involved. But my life has been blessed with so many positives, and today is another special day to receive this recognition. I thank all my friends that took the time off to be here this morning to attend the breakfast. Someone said to me, I've never seen a chamber breakfast so active at 7:30 in the morning. So I hope next year you honor somebody that brings a nice crowd in also. I thank, and Dale's going to recognize our staff, friends, and family members that work for Crafts. My wife and I, Di, have been able to support so many wonderful nonprofits here in Chester County. These organizations do so much good for so many. They work very hard to raise money, which has been talked about already this morning. So I thought I'd be a cheerleader for a few moments to recognize their efforts. It's really so hard. I've heard Michelle say this. It's so hard to understand how in such a wealthy county there are so many persons with so many needs. So here goes my top 10. If I left you off, I apologize. I'll continue to send you a check if I missed you. First off, Larry at the Chester County Food Bank. They provide for so many every day, putting food on the table so they can feed their families. And I know Bob McNeil has been a huge supporter of the Chester County Food Bank. It probably wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Bob, and I know Bob's not here today. Jan at the Lord's Pantry in Downingtown provides food for 400 to 500 families weekly. Maureen at the Community Volunteers of Medicine, which she was mentioned a minute ago in Westchester, provides all types of medical services to so many families that have no medical insurance. Robert at Good Works in Coatesville helps repair homes that have so many issues such as leaks, mold, no heat, or just falling down. They also build homes for those that are in dire need also. Amy at Handicrafters in Thorndale provides a workplace for so many individuals with special needs that helps them to have a purpose in life. If you've never been to Handicrafters, you should take a moment out or a couple hours and go visit, and you'll support them when you leave the building, because it is such a wonderful organization for those clients that we transport to the Handicrafters. But Bob Spatola was a huge supporter of Handicrafters. We lost Bob, and I don't think they can fill his shoes there, but it's a great organization. Dana and Vanessa at the Brandywine Health Foundation in Thorndale work so hard to improve the health and the well-being of people who live and work in greater Coatesville area. I said Thorndale, actually Coatesville. 2 libraries that we've been big supporters of. Elizabeth at the Downingtown Library. If you haven't been to the new Downingtown Library in Downingtown, go visit there. It's a very, very active place. There's so many people out there that can't afford internet. The libraries that's what's bringing people to libraries today, the internet system. And we have a conference room at the Downingtown Library. That's the M. Eleanor Craft Conference Room. We honored our mother there. The Coatesville Public Library, we have the Crafts Children's Family Library there. We did that after our dad passed, and it's Coatesville. Dale and I both graduated from Coatesville High School. Coatesville's coming back, I promise you, it's coming back. And it's a very busy place on a regular basis. Mike at the Chester County Hospital, what a wonderful hospital that provides exceptional care to so many. And we're growing every day. If you go by there, you'll see the additions that are going on there, creating a world-class health care for all Chester County residents. It's a wonderful, I know Paoli Hospital's down the road, but Chester County Hospital's in the center of Chester County, and it's a wonderful hospital. And 2 other boards that I serve on, the Fulton Bank Board, Brandywine Division, and Penn State Great Valley. And most of you know, as Mike said, Penn State is forever in my heart. So if you're looking for an organization's support, as been said here earlier, there are so many here in Chester County, but they're pretty much my top 10 and my wife's and I top 10 that we enjoy supporting for sure. So thank you very much for this Lifetime Achievement Award. It's a wonderful honor, and I don't know who's going to be the quarterback at Penn State this year.
Good morning. For years I've been telling everyone that I am Dallas's younger brother, but he certainly set the record straight publicly this morning. So if he's 70, that makes me somewhat north of that. But I'm proud to be the oldest Kraft and chairman of the board, and I'm humbled by this award this morning. I thank you very much. Thanks to the board of the chamber. Thanks to the people that work for the chamber. Without you folks, there would be no Lifetime Achievement Award. You know, Chester County is the home to the Kraft family since the early 1900s. What a great place to live and raise a family. We are really blessed here in Chester County with great weather, 4 seasons. We saw a little bit of that this morning, which I love. Great public schools and private schools, great hospitals, great business opportunities, great government, and as well, a good social life, many great restaurants and many things to do. We are truly one of the top 10 counties in the country. There's no doubt about it. I want to take a moment and just introduce a couple of the corporate owners of Kraft. So I'd like, there's 4 of the owners, the next generation owners, that are here this morning. I'd like Allison, Blake, Brad, and Gary to stand up, please. And we have a 4th generation owner here as well this morning, or not an owner yet, but a 4th generation member. Allison, would you please stand up? And the rest of our 2 tables this morning, we can't, we are all about our employees. We always have been, we always will be, and we just have assembled a great group of people to work for the Kraft companies. Please stand up. I probably should have collaborated with Mike prior to the rest of my notes, but I did not, and so you're going to hear some things again that he already said, but I'm going to go on with my notes here regardless. One thing about the Kraft Bus Company, or the Kraft Group, as you will, if you will, that many of you really do not know is that we are a company that operates 2,800 buses in 5 different states, and we're very proud of that. Our core business are yellow school buses. However, we have a very strong commercial side, both here in Chester County and in Rome and Syracuse, New York. The samplings of some of our commercial side are the Navy Yard shuttle in Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Flash Route A that runs between Coatesville and Westchester, Rover, which we provide 1,500 rides per day to senior citizens and other socially involved people that need those rides, and we're very, very proud of all those services. On the other side, our Yellow School Bus Company, we are the 5th largest school bus company in the United States, and we are the largest family-owned school bus company in this country. And like I said earlier, we've always treated our employees like family, and I hope as the 3rd and 4th generation continue, that they will do the same thing and have the same values that we had since our father and mother started the company in 1942. I'm going to talk just a little bit for a moment about some of our commitments. Dallas talked about the philanthropy of himself and as well as the company. But we have always been involved with a number of organizations that have served us and served our community. I was not one of the founding members of the Chamber, like Howard Stevens or Al Eastburn or Bob Thompson that did find it, but I was soon on board right after the Chamber was founded back in the early 90s. So we were one of their first members, and I'm proud to say I was chairman of the Chamber from 1997 to 1999. A little bit about our industry commitment. PSBA, which is the Pennsylvania School Bus Association. My father was president of that organization back in the 60s. Myself and my brother were presidents in the 80s. My son Blake was president just a few years ago. And someone in the room and part of our staff, Sean McGlinchey, is now part of that executive board. NSTA, National School Transportation Association. Very proud to say that I was chairman of that organization for 2 years back in the early 2000s. And my son Blake is the current chairman of NSTA. And my son Brad sits on the executive board of that organization. UMA, United Motorcoach Association. I was also chairman of that organization back just a year or two ago, and I'm proud to say that I'm the only one that has had both hats, both the school bus and the motorcoach associations, as chair. At one point, just a year ago, Blake was chairman of NSTA. Gary was chairman of the International Motorcoach Group, and I was chairman of the United Motorcoach Association, all at the same time. We have had a great tradition of supporting our industry associations. We just concluded our 75th anniversary celebration. As I said, the company started in '42. We took a year to celebrate that, and in that year, we decided to write a book. And my brother and I were sitting around looking for some answers to some questions 4 or 5 years ago, and I said to him, I said, Grammy would know those answers. And Grammy is my mother, and everyone in her older years, both students, people at the church, our family, everyone referred to her as Grammy. She was an encyclopedia. Trouble was, Grammy was no longer there. So I said to Dallas, we've got to write a book. We've got to get this down on paper so that the history will go forward, and it'll be my son's and Allison's job to write another one at our 100th anniversary a few years from now. In that book, we went through several iterations, and it's not an easy process. But I'm proud to say that we finally came up with a product that I really like, and I need to recognize Ann Taylor, who became the author of The Craft Way. Ann, please stand up. Thank you very much, Ann. The book is not for sale, but if any of you or our business friends would like to have a copy, just see Amy or Ann over here at table 17, I think it is. 16, and give them a business card, and we'll see that you get a copy. It's been a great ride. I'm very, very happy that I chose to do what I did and follow my father's footsteps. And it's been just a delight to be part of this county and be part of this community. Thank you very much. I've always said, work hard, play hard, and I can plan to continue doing that as I go forward. Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to invite up our county commissioners to share some of their recognition.
I know it's the end of a long breakfast, so I'm going to be very brief. We just wanted to stand up here and acknowledge that we do have citations for all of the award winners, and just to note that I think the Chamber's selection of these three groups, whether it's the crafts, Surrey Services, as well as the new venture, Carvatize, really exemplifies what is so wonderful about Chester County. This ability for new businesses and established businesses to work to support nonprofits and those in need. I think that's why we consistently are a nationally recognized county, because of that ability for public and private sectors to work well together. So thank you for all of you for attending, and thank you for the Chamber for putting on such a wonderful breakfast this morning.
Good morning, I'm Terrence Farrell, I'm one of the three commissioners, and I'd just like to take a step below what Michelle said and what many of the other presenters and awardees have said, and that's to break it down beyond the organizational structure to the actual people in the room here, the people in the nonprofits who volunteer their time, the people on various governmental organizations who also volunteer of their time. Chester County is really a great place to live, and it ultimately comes down to those people who have committed to starting businesses, taking the risk, those folks who have started nonprofits or work in nonprofit and help the most vulnerable in our society. All of you deserve a round of applause. Please applaud yourself for being part of the Chester County fabric that is so great.
Okay, folks, we are almost there. What you may not remember is this is also serves as our annual general meeting. So as a duty, I have to perform the fastest meeting that you'll experience all year long. I call this meeting to order, the annual general meeting of the Chester County Chamber of Business and Industry. First order of business, Mary Ann Martelli, upcoming events. If you'd come up and share.
Dang, I thought he was going to give me a big raise or something. Thanks, Jim. Thank you all for being here, but our next big event is the most fun event of the year. It is our gala, which actually helps to, is our only fundraiser for our foundation, our Chester County Chamber Foundation. That will be held on March 9th at the Desmond Hotel. The theme this year is Masquerade, so you can get your mask and dress up and come, and you don't even have to tell us who you are. It'll be so much fun. But there's dancing and gambling and lots of wonderful auction items. So please mark your calendar for that. It is a Saturday night, so bring your most fun friends and your checkbook, and we'll see you there. Then after that, we have a couple of smaller events that will be held at the Chamber, and then we also have our next signature event is State of the County, which will be held on April 30th, so please mark your calendar for that. Always check our website, please, for upcoming events. Okay?
Thank you, Mary Ann. Mr. President, any other matters? Do I have a motion to adjourn? Second? Meeting adjourned. Thank you very much, folks, for coming. Enjoy your days.